Peace and blessings, soul family. We're still back here with the Vidyā Tattwas, specifically talking about the Kanchukas. And this time we are talking about the next Kāla, that which limits perceptual existence by creating the notion of time related to the changes in life, namely birth, growth, ripening, waning, and perishing. So that's the fourth Kanchuka. That's from Tattwas shooting. Then we have here in the Sanskrit Glossary, Kāla, the fourth of the Kāla. Kāla is that which makes one emotionally attached to different beings, mistaking them for the Brahman or the reality. Black or dark blue color. Time in general. Proper time or proportion of time. Time considered as one of the 9 substances, one of the 5 limiting aspects of energy, Kanchuka, which creates the dimension of time and restricts the individual within it, one of the 8 states of consciousness, Bhairavas, the supreme spirit regarding as the destroyer of the universe, epithet of Shiva as a personification of the destructive principle or law of existence, Yama, the god of death, the planet Saturn, the weather. Okay. Then we have in Tantra illuminated time, Kāla. The fourth of the prerequisites for embodied experience is time. Instead of the timeless simultaneity of absolute consciousness, for which the entire universe is a single complex creation, including all times, embodied beings generally experience time as a slow crawl of 1 second per second. This also means that we experience time sequentially, with one thing following after in a process of continual change. Though some tantric sources tell us that change is a mere appearance, and what really happens is that the goddess Kāli devours the whole universe each instant and then recreates it anew in a slightly different form, hundreds of times each second. We are often burdened by our awareness of past and present, endless regrets of hopeful expectations, worry and anxiety, yet it is because of that very awareness of time that we can grow. As a great German philosopher, Martin Heidegger, said, we are beings who always have our path within us and are always growing towards our future. That is what makes us different from other animals. So as usual, in tantric philosophy, the very thing that causes us suffering is also the means of our fulfillment once we shift our attitude towards it and understanding of it. We do not seek to be entirely in the present moment in the way animals are, with no conscious awareness of past or future. Rather, we seek to be centered in the present moment, aware of our past behind us and our future ahead of us, while being free of the 4 modes of escaping the experience of the now: guilt, revere, fantasy, and anxiety. This is to transcend time, even while being in time. So you see on this, you have nostalgia on the positive charge and guilt in the negative charge, and then fantasy, positive future looking thing, and then worry and negative ideal of the future. When you look at the chart, if you are most people, you'll acknowledge the stress and disease caused by guilt and worry, but think there is nothing wrong with nostalgia and fantasy. Yoga psychology challenges this notion, telling us that losing ourselves in fantasy is as detrimental to us as being obsessed by worry, because fantasizing is equally effective in removing us from full awareness of the present. The present is what is real, and it is what we are called to respond to. In fact, the only way your hopes for the future can ever become a reality in the present is by careful attention to the details of present moment reality, moment to moment. A more accurate perspective would be to accept that there is no future per se, but only a consistent flowing present, which, through close and reverent attention, reveals its divinity ever more fully to the yogi. In this way, we can learn to experience ourselves as a whole being, with our past and future part of our present, without grasping toward either. This grasping takes 4 primary forms. In the past, we grasp towards positive memories, which is called nostalgic revere, and we grasp after painful memories in the form of guilt and regret. We grasp future imaginary possibilities, which is called fantasy, and future negative possibilities, which is called worry or anxiety. These 4 different forms of grasping are all ways we depart immersing ourselves into the fullness of the present moment. So when we let go of the 4 forms of grasping, that is how we let past and future become part of our present and experience the fullness of the present, which has much more to offer us than the mind could ever imagine. In this way, we can become free of the net of time, entering in the eternally flowing simultaneity, nityoditta. Alright, so that is Kāla. I love you all. Peace and blessings, and I will be back with you on the next one.